everybody, I'm Matt,
And I'm Michael.
and we're the founders of LunchBux. So, while I was in high school, I noticed something fascinating. My high school had partnerships with local restaurants in the neighborhood that offered its students exclusive discounts. And so I realized that at the end of my senior year, the only restaurants that existed in the neighborhood were the ones that had these discounts and partnerships with my high school. And this kind of created a sort of community within the neighborhood that kept all the students going to the same restaurants. So we realized that when we went to college that one, students were spending too much money on food and they didn't have enough food options. And another thing was that in public colleges, especially in New York City and in dormitories, we're not offered any type of meal plan whatsoever. And for the restaurants, they don't have the direct access to the student market that we do. And so currently what the restaurants are doing is they're actually recruiting students from these colleges and they're giving them menus and little discount slips and slipping them under the doors. So we wanted to make this process more efficient. So we're students ourselves and we know how it's like to be spending too much money on food and not have enough food options. And so with Eddie, his background in finance, capital management, and his love for food, Michael, his experience in accounting, logistics, and operations, with my experience in digital advertising and web design, we think that we're the perfect team to solve this problem.
So what we would be offering the restaurants is an alternative advertising platform where in exchange for the restaurants' advertising services that we would be providing, they would offer students who use our service exclusive discounts. So this would give the restaurants a way for them to get rid of food that otherwise would have been thrown out, giving them an additional revenue stream. And it also helps them with their marketing to students because as we've seen, their marketing to students is very inefficient. So we would be able to partner students with these local restaurants and essentially create a community where both students and restaurants are able to benefit from the relationships that we create. So we went straight to the students. One of the first things we wanted to find out is how often students are eating at these local restaurants. So most of the students are eating more than 5 times per week at these restaurants. And we also looked at how much students are paying for these meals. Most students pay somewhere between $10 and $12 for these meals. And when you think about it, $12 per meal, 5 days a week or more, the costs quickly add up.
So our vision is to provide a platform that gamifies these exclusive deals at local restaurants offered to our college students. And this is how it would look. When students log onto our website, they'd be able to have access to our Food Blast feature, where restaurants would be able to upload their own advertisements as well as our own, and many of these offers would be limited time. So throughout the entire experience, students would have to check the website or receive notifications to see when they would be able to receive these deals, and these help the restaurants offset their surplus food at these times where they want to get rid of certain items. So for example, if a restaurant is closing in an hour and they have a surplus of grilled cheese, they'd be able to access our database and say, hey, grilled cheese for $1, and everybody would get that. And this is how it would look on the user end, where they would be able to access different discounts from the restaurants that we partner with. These prices reflect the discounts already. So all the student would have to do is order from here, whereas these tacos are $5.50 at the original restaurant. So if you went there, you'd be paying $5.50. You order through us, and you get it for $3.95. And this would go straight to the restaurant's point of sale system, which we would provide. And the biggest thing about this is that we actually own the facilitation of the data. So we can go back to the restaurants and say, hey, we generated you 30% more customers in this week without us, and we'd actually provide the point of sale system for them. So we have the back end.
So what we would be providing the students is a subscription service. We found based off the data that we gathered, assuming a modest 15% discount, we'd be able to help the students save over $20 per month on food. So one of our subscription options is a monthly subscription. So if we were to charge $5, students would be able to benefit a net of $15 savings. We would also offer a semester package for $20, which comes out even cheaper, equaling even more savings for the students. Right now, we're going for a summer subscription where students would be able to try our service for $5 for 3 months, which is a great deal.
And so currently students are using online ordering systems like Seamless, but like we said before, the costs quickly add up after the different fees and delivery costs. And so they can use food directories, but this only really tells you where to go to eat and doesn't offer you these deals. And so discount services as well target more of a broad market, and they don't have the direct access to the niche market that we do. And meal prep services aren't really popular because, like we said, students don't really have the time to cook, and frankly, they don't want to, especially when midterms and finals come around. And so thanks to the help of the accelerator, we've been able to get to the point where we attracted 5 restaurants already. We took surveys and we figured out what would be the best value proposition for them. We won competitions and we leveraged our connections so that we could get to this point. And we hope to launch in the fall after iterating during our beta launch in the summer. Thank you.
So far until the fall, you are going to try to bootstrap. What about after fall?
So we are currently in the process of applying to accelerators for the fall. So one of the accelerators that we applied to was Brooklyn Innovation. So we're ideally after fall, we'd like to, right now we're targeting one of the dormitories. After fall, we hope to expand to other dormitories that are under EHS, as they provide dormitories across all of New York City for a host of colleges.
Okay, so maybe you research other food accelerators and try to see where else you could apply, right? FoodX and others, right? Okay. In terms of how far built this is, you should be able to launch this summer, right? In terms of just the tech side of it.
So the platform, it's already working. The only thing that we would need was to buy the iPads and provide them to the restaurants so they could have access to the point of sale system. Otherwise, we're pretty much good to go.
You need to buy them, so you need to raise capital to buy all the iPads?
Well, we would be able to buy refurbished. It doesn't necessarily have to be an iPad. It could be a tablet, and those aren't, especially when you look at refurbished options, those don't require like a heavy amount of capital investment.
They're normally like $30. So we don't even have to buy these tablets. What they do for like delivery.com is that they actually go on the website on the computers. But we noticed that a lot of the competitors that are close to market share in the space are actually providing them like
The equipment.
And that way you can kind of say that that's like a proprietary thing where that everything that goes through that tablet is ours. So that would be our problem.
And you're still working on your financials, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
I think it'd be cool if you guys, if you add like a sharing option to like for the student after they get the deal, they could like share it to their social media too, which would be awesome.
I mean, we're working on many ways where it would be incentivize students to share the idea, free food, and a host of other.
Or maybe even go 3 of them together to pick up the food together, right? Because it's a little bit of a social situation where, I don't know, 3 or 4 of you are walking over, picking it up, chatting, getting it. So you may want to be inviting others to go grab the same meal. So some kind of invite function would be nice.
Yeah, and we also have like social events and that where the restaurants would be catering food for us. And so before they sign up, before you get your free taco, you know sign up and then we see what the conversion is after you try our trial out.
Okay, great. Thank you.